So I'm gonna walk through the life of an issue, all the way from the issue being created to the feature being shipped. It's pretty simple, actually. You start with opening a GitHub issue. GitHub is the source of truth for this system. Anyone can open an issue. A contributor can open an issue. The Warp team is going to be working in this repo, opening issues here. Once an issue is open, a triage agent will go ahead and take a look at it and sort of fill in any missing context. It might ask a user for more information if it's unclear what the issue is. It might close it if it's a duplicate. But the result of this is like an issue with a bunch of information. If the issue has any kind of ambiguity, it will move into a state that we call ready for plan. So a Warp team member will mark it as such. And at that point, we're looking for a contributor to pick up the issue or perhaps someone from the Warp team to pick it up. You work with the agent to come up with a tech spec and a product spec. Now, the product spec, the idea is like, let's really flesh out how the feature should work from the user's perspective. And then the tech spec, the idea is like, let's give a bunch of guidance on how an agent should code up the feature. You don't have to write these by hand. Like you give some prompting to Oz, and Oz has skills for creating these two kinds of specs. The result of this stage is like a tech spec and a product spec as part of like a kind of placeholder PR. If those specs look good, once you've iterated on them, the issue moves into a state called ready to implement. And at that point, what we're looking for is either a contributor or again, like someone on the Warp team to assign the PR to Oz. And once you assign the PR to Oz, Oz will start coding it. So it will take all that context from the issue, it will take the specs, it will launch a cloud agent with the Warp repo, and it will do the coding. It's cool, you can follow along, you can hop in if you're a contributor, or if you're on the Warp team, you can actually like go live in and steer the agent if it gets stuck. And at the end of this process, the agent has produced a PR. So at this point, the issue itself goes into a state called ready for review. And in this state, another agent will do code review. So we have a code review agent that is continuously improving over time. And so it will do a code review, leave comments. It will make it very easy to address those. There's also a bunch of verification that happens in terms of like, an agent will use computer use to look at the feature and make sure it's working right. Agent will look for security issues. And so we're adding more and more of these verification agents. Once the verification agents have run and a Warp team member has reviewed the code, we'll go ahead and merge it. It goes into basically a final state where it's going to get shipped. There's a couple other agents that help with the shipping, including an agent that will sort of generate the changelog, an agent that will update the documentation, and so on. It's a pretty simple but very powerful flow that is really like a combination of Warp contributors and agents. So the way spec and verify works is first you use the create product spec skill to create a product.md file. And this describes the problem that we're trying to solve from the user's perspective, what the user experience should be like, what the goals are we're going for the user. We then have a skill that helps you create a tech spec. And so this tech spec basically calls out like what's the relevant code in the code base, what's the current state, and what are the proposed changes and why, like what's the architecture. Once those look good, you ask the agent to actually implement the code, and then the agent will cook and create a diff for you. And then once you have the code, you go into the verify phase. There's a bunch of verify agents. So one of those is something that uses computer use. If it's like a visual feature, there's one that does agentic code review. There's one that is looking for security issues. And so you have those agents running in the verify phase. This isn't like rocket science. This is just like how you ship software, but super powered with agents at every step. I think it's going to be very interesting and useful for anyone who wants to like try to build what the future workbench of building with agents should be, to have Warp as like a starting point or a place that you can come and contribute and have the product improve. I think this is gonna be meaningfully cool for a lot of developers.